Ramachandran, advisory board member at MentorMyBoard. Uh, the independent directors are playing a very important role in the Indian corporates, but they've just started. We have a long way to go. Uh, Companies Act, two terms are over for most of the independent directors, and you can see at least 5,000, 6,000 directors have to be replaced from this year onwards. But these independent directors have to be trained. They are not just relatives or friends who can come on the independent directors board. They need to do a proper job because public money is involved. If the public money is involved, stakeholders are there, they're asking questions, social media is talking about it. So it's very important for independent directors to understand their role, not just compliance role. We need to be working with the company's objectives and whether they can really solve the issues which the stakeholders are expecting. I think that is what is very, very important in today's world. Technology is emerging. The directors have to be understanding what technology is about. ESG is one of the important area. How sustainable your companies are. If you are not understanding these things, your environment, your social angle, your workers, how are you dealing with the society? These are very, very important, and I think independent directors have to gear up. And Mentor My Board is exactly doing that function to help the directors to get trained.
I'm Neha Shah, co founder director of MentorMyBoard. We are building a community of 1 lakh directors through the platform of MentorMyBoard. Thank you. This is the third Independent Directors Summit that we are holding. We've done past two summits which were virtual. This one we are doing it physical with National Stock Exchange as our venue partner, and we are happy to invite 250 guests and delegates, corporates from various locations pan India. The summit has been a wonderful experience for us to host everyone, and as well to for Mentor My Board to understand what directors need from platforms like Mentor My Board. The vision of Mentor My Board is to create a 1 lakh directors community in the next 2 to 3 years, and we are on a mission to empower 2,500 women board leaders, creating a pool of them so that India is not any short of women leaders at the top. As Nirmala Sitharamanji, our finance minister, had graced the occasion of Women Directors Conclave in September on the 16th. This was our aim, that we create that pool of women board leaders, wherein she graced the occasion and also started with a program of WOM, that is Women on Management and Boards. So the program of WOM was mainly for women board leaders. Women from across India have given a very great response to the program. We've had participants from pan India, and we are happy that we are convocating the third successful batch of WOM today at this venue. uh, we are on a mission, as I said, to create a community of 1 lakh directors. We plan to train, nurture, upskill directors, not only the independent ones but the promoters, the startups, and the entire ecosystem. We are here to have a community wherein everyone learns, nurtures, and thrives together. Platform, as a digital tech platform which we have created, has been a pivotal one, wherein directors can come at one place. It acts as a one stop solution for every director, and would like to have a community wherein they interact with each other, and they get those board opportunities which they are seeking, because we are inviting corporates who can come in, and also the mentors who can train them. Myself, Divya Momaya, I am a company secretary by profession and a board mentor. Last 20 years industry experience, and last 5 years, with this 20 years experience, when I saw that, as corporate governance, we are talking of good governance in big companies. India has close to around 5 to 7 8,000 companies which are listed, and where we are talking of good governance. But India has 7 crore SMEs and MSMEs which are yet to see the corporatization. So I think that's where more and more good governance needs India to take, when they are growing. I mean, as a nation, when we are growing,
good governance is going to be a pillar, and that's where, when investors are going to come and they're going to look, the first, if most important parameter they look at is the governance. So when we, nurtured this entire idea of Mentor My Board, we saw that, there's huge gap today. Governance is only spoken about in the big companies. So what about those small companies which really wants to grow and which really wants to become big? So what is the journey? I mean, today also one of the panelists spoke about that there are hardly 2% of companies in India which have 25% less than shareholding. So when there are more stakeholders in the company, that's where real governance starts coming in. So that's something what we have envisioned last 5 years before, and now I can see that entire ecosystem what we are creating for directors, for mentors, and for corporates. So where directors are able to nurture, groom themselves, the corporates are able to get trained quality directors for their boardrooms, and most importantly there are huge industry mentors, huge industry directors who already have rich experience, and they need a platform to share their experience with the the directors, aspiring directors, and completely create the ecosystem.
The kind of interest of the panelists were a little bit about on that.
So the idea behind creating this independent director summit is transforming India with good governance. And when we see the ecosystem, when we see the governance, independent directors are the most important pillar in the entire governance ecosystem. And even regulators want independent directors to be more ready and more participative, more effective when they are in the boardrooms. But then there are a lot of regulatory oversights which are increasing the penalties, the prosecution, and that's the fear. So these kind of initiatives what we are doing is creating that ecosystem where independent directors are able to learn, sharpen their skills. They know where to, what to, and how to take risks, how to be more effective in the boardroom. So digital future fit boards, for example, is one of the topic. How the boardrooms are ready for the future. Are the boardrooms themselves digitally equipped, or they're still working in the traditional ways? At the same time, the regulatory oversight, for example, there is one session where eminent people are from the industry are going to speak, and the regulatory oversight is increasing, and lot of expectations of the regulators are there on the independent directors. How are they able to cope up? So these are some insights which are coming from the eminent mentors here who are on the panel. Then there is also one more kind of very interesting topic on board seat to board impact. So it's only having a board seat or a tick box, or you're really creating an impact in the boardroom with your presence. So these kind of topics, brainstorming discussions will help more and more directors to be ready and take that risk of getting into the boards and performing their duties well. So I think everyone has the inspiration, the mentors, and we are guided by our advisory board, which has eminent mentors with us, eminent advisory board. So Nilesh Vikamsi is past president of CA Institute. He sits himself on few boards as independent director. Mr. Rajnikant Patel is there, who is ex-MD of CEO of Bombay Stock Exchange. Amisha Vora is there. Sridhar Ramchandran, Sanjay ji is there, who is a promoter director. So we have, even created our advisory board in such a way that we get all the perspectives of promoters, of independent directors, of the entire trade and industry. So that's how we've. They are our guiding stars basically.
I have worked in banking, commodity space, and financial services and strategic advisory services. Uh, Coming to today's event, which is about the regulatory oversight and independent directors, I think it is a very relevant thing which Mentor My Board has put in, because today what we require, the commercial space requires, the industry requires, the country requires, is growth of our economy, our corporate sector. And for growth, compliance is necessary. Thrown some very good lights and insights into how we can be a compliant corporate India to make our country one of the best governed and best growing. So I would say Mentor My Board has done excellent job of bringing a platform where we can interact, we can create an independent directors which are watchdogs of a good, better corporate governance.